We've got a massive range of abilities and disabilities in this house.
Just reach out your hand and I will pull you through.
So I've got 5 children. Now I need to try and remember their names. So it's Sophie Louise, Morgan, Eleanor, Rosie and Alfie. When we first noticed issues with Morgan, a lot of his issues were behavioural. So he was difficult to manage. He wouldn't sleep from about 3 months. 12 weeks old, he just screamed and screamed. There was no consoling him. Nothing we done helped. Kept going to the GP. There was nothing obvious. There was no blood work or anything like that was showing up there was any issues. And as he became a toddler, these behaviours escalated and he was biting and hitting and trying to hurt his siblings. We would go to CAMS on a regular basis. I would call them all the time. I'd be like, can you help? Can you help with these behaviours? I don't know what to do. And, their assumption was he's just not got a dad. That's what the problem is. It's behavioural because he doesn't have a father figure. And I was like, but he does because I've got 4 brothers and a really hands-on granddad for him. Like, so why can you not help me? And they just would not help in any shape or form. They just would see me at appointments and then cancel, and then see me in an appointment and then be like, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. I'll send you to parenting classes. So I would then go in these 12-week courses to help me understand the behaviour. We had to use a lot of control and restraint for Morgan. We had to basically sit in a position where we'd be cross-legged, crossed-armed, put my chin on his head until he calmed, because he was a danger to himself and to others. And we would just stay there until he settled down. And sometimes it would take about 40 minutes to an hour. And it was exhausting. Rosie and Alfie were born at 24 weeks. They weren't meant to be here at all. So when the twins were born, 24 weeks and 5 days exactly, weighing £1.10 and £1.15, they were straight into the NICU, so at Cross House Hospital. And I never seen them. I never seen them for a few days because I was too sick, because they had a 20% chance of survival. I was such a high risk because of the emergency C-section that, they weren't sure if I was going to survive either. So Paul had decisions to make out with everything. So that Paul's the twins' dad. So he had decisions to make, whether do you say yes, do you say no to things, what do I do? In the end, Paul he just decided leave it up to the medical profession and let them make the decisions, because it's not a decision that he could make. Rosie's got, now that she's older, we've got diagnosis for ADHD, autism. She's got behavioural issues where she obsesses with behaviour, so obsessive compulsive behaviours rather than, so she thinks that if she doesn't do something to harm herself, something's going to happen to one of her family members. She hears a lot of voices and things like that, but again, she developed outside the womb. She wasn't meant to be here. She's going to have issues.
1, 2, 3. Right, I'll go this way.
This way this time. Dad, you ready?
Alfie's issues were, he had cerebral palsy. So he was non-verbal, he was peg fed, then he went on to jedge feeding, which is a feed into the bowel. He had epilepsy, chronic lung disease, he was on oxygen, he was just a wee soul. He was a wheelchair user, but you couldn't have met a happier wee guy, because he never had the worries of the world on his shoulders, and he absolutely loved life.
I'm quite a fun, outgoing, crazy person. I'm quite like my mum. We're quite similar in personalities, loud and bubbly. But my family, I would say, we're very family orientated. We do everything together. We go everywhere together. Always on the phone and Facebook. Like we're always doing everything together.
I've got very supportive families. A massive family, huge brothers, 4 brothers and a sister. My mum and dad, absolutely amazing. Helped me with the kids no end. But yeah, they are phenomenal. They've been absolutely amazing. Even now, I could phone them right now and say, help, not a problem.
If mum goes to like our fitness classes or our clubs and things, I'm always in the house for Rosie. If she's away out to her groups and clubs, it's just like it's like our own wee shift patterns in here as well. We all work around each other. So we do to try and make sure we can all do everything that we want to do.
Without them, I don't think I would be able to have raised them.
Our family was like a risk take. Like, let's just take a risk. Let's just go for it. Like, pack our stuff. Let's go. Like, we're going on holiday or we're going like a road trip and stuff, which was quite good because we didn't know how long we were going to have Rosie and Alfie for. We didn't know how long they were going to be here. So we were always told, like, just spend every day as if it was the last day. So we made the most of it, and that's what made it fun. But you make your own kind of fun, I would say, like when you're going places, making memories. Yeah, I would say if life was different, it would probably be a bit boring, I would say, if life was different.
I stopped working after a wee while. Just as the kids were getting bigger, it was getting too much. Like Alfie's seizures were becoming more and more. Rosie's behaviours were becoming more and more challenging. So I had to like stop working altogether for a bit. I would book in for a massage, minimum of once a month. Try and do twice a month. I love a massage. Turn my phone off, leave it in the car, go and get a massage, just lie there, enjoy time, and 1 whole hour to myself. When their dad was home, or if my mum was available. So if my mum wasn't working, I'd be like, fancy babysitting, or same way I would get my hair done. And people are like, oh, I never make time for this and that. And I'm like, I do, because I need that. Like, how can I look after them if I can't even look after myself? Like, I've got to be all right to look after them.
At the start, I think when it all kind of happened, I was very young, like having like Rosie and Alfie and their disabilities and stuff. But then as you get older, it's not until you realise, oh, this is quite serious, and you think about it more, and then you're starting to worry about it and asking questions.
I think they kind of sussed it out themselves that, hold on a wee minute, like, these guys aren't the same as us. Because they didn't know any different, because they were little as well. But as they got older, they were like, is Alfie going to die? Is he all right? Or is Rosie going to die? Like, and then they would have arguments and stuff like that with me, like, you love them more than us. You do more for them than me. And I'm like, no, I don't love them any more or any less. I just have to do more for them. You can do a lot more for yourself.
More so when I was younger, they kept it quite secretive, but now as we're an adult, we know a bit more.
I wouldn't let it go by the way kids say your brother could die anytime. You know, you wouldn't do that.
If I just seen it as like we were just kids and we're running about and just having fun.
I have a letter that says Alfie's parents are very much aware that Alfie could die at any moment.
The passing of Alfie, I was more quite sheltered and kept myself to myself because it's the first loss I've had. I've never lost anybody before, so yeah, it's yeah.
Basically, when Alfie passed away, my brother came up with this idea: let's raise money in Alfie's name, and what do I want it to go to? So at the time, Alfie used to go to a butterfly club, and the parents used to run this so that the kids with disabilities and complex needs could have a summer club when the schools were off, because when the schools would finish, there would be nothing for them to do all summer. There was no out of school care, there was no clubs, nothing for them to do. When we set that up, we used the funds for the Butterfly Club so that the kids could continue to have a club in the summer. But then when New Lockhart campus opened, we changed it. So Stuart and I just sat and we kind of bounced back ideas.
After wee Alfie passed, God, sorry. Aye, so we just thought it was a great idea, get everybody together, the family and stuff. And it started in 2019. It was the very, very first event. I'm sure it was here at Ardea, which was fantastic for them to give us it. Then we moved to Saltcoats Vicks in 2021. And then we came back here last year in 2022, and that was our biggest and the best one we've done. We ended up managing to raise about $4,000, so we did.
I know I had to raise a lot of money for things that Alfie had because it's not given to you. Things out with the basic necessity. If you want, like Alfie got a communication aid, £10,000. I had to raise that with the community, with friends, family. We managed to raise it, just, begging and pleading, please help us, support us, we'll fundraise. So we thought, how about we continue this and then we get them something that they just want. They don't necessarily need it. So far we've managed to get a wee boy a wheelchair and a mobile hoist, a wee boy a wee house for outside just to help him, and a wee girl who is terminal and she went to Blackpool with her family for a wee 5 days away.
But each event we just kind of look at to local businesses, see if we can get donations and stuff. For raffles, we sell raffle tickets. Last year we had stalls, so local business come in, bought a wee stall and entered there. Each player, we pay a wee fee, each player, I think it's about £10 each player pays, so it's a good wee start.
You will find a way to fight another day. Don't you know the weather will be fine for you?
I always felt as if I had to be there, be the person to look after everybody, because like my brother and sister moved out, so it was just me. But being able to take time for yourself, it helps you recharge, which is really good. So even if you want to go and get your hair done, your nails done, get a tattoo, or even go out with your friends for an hour or two, just take time for yourself, because you need to manage, help yourself with it.
Choose your battles. Just pick one, because at the end of the day, you're not going to win by picking on everything. Pick the most important and go to it. Pick the most important appointment, go to that. Spend more time with them. Send them to school. You might not think, oh no, school's scary. Just send them. They'll love it. Take the break. Take time for yourself. And you know what? It's all right to stay in bed one day because you're exhausted. Go back to sleep. It's absolutely fine, because without you being okay, you can't look after them.
Just reach out your hand and I will pull you through. At the other end, I'll be waiting there for you. You are not alone. You are not alone. If there's anything that I can do